And definitely some greener choices are up to the individual. There's certain things, like I say, about avoiding toxins in our cosmetic products and, trying to walk to work or bike to work. But a lot of it has to do with, the infrastructure, how the city is built. If you live in a sprawling city where your services are so spread out and you live in bedroom communities where everyone works in the downtown core and you have to commute all the time, it can be definitely more challenging. And so that's why what I love about working at the David Suzuki Foundation, and it's not just about fluffy green tips and living and recipes that you could be doing, but we also really try to tie a lot of the work and a lot of the campaigns and projects to policies that we're working on. So, like I said, it'd be great if we didn't have to memorize the Dirty Dozen or try our hardest to bike to work, but that we lived in cities that, it made that easier. We had strong laws to keep toxic chemicals out of our, shampoo and toothpaste.
Right. And I was just reading an article this morning. Actually, Seattle was just named the top walkable city in the country there in the US. And obviously, Vancouver has a lot of goals from the mayor to become one of the greenest cities in the world by 2020. And I think that one of the real key components also is leveraging and having celebrities on hand that have a real passionate um, drive and commitment to this whole movement. Who right now are your top three celebrities that are helping drive this whole movement?
That's an interesting question. I've never thought. I mean, of course, one of my heroes, as I said, from a child has been, David Suzuki, as far as spreading the message and giving some ideas of hope and ways that we could be living more in harmony with the planet.
Mm-hmm.
We only have one. But as far as eco-celebrities, in my daily work, the ones that inspire me and are just everyday Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't think of any, you don't have to be, and my point is, you don't have to be an eco-celebrity to bring this stuff to the attention. I mean, even in my role, you don't have to be a complete expert or a scientist or have a PhD to figure this stuff out. People are really doing things in their communities and in their homes. And so recently, for example, I greened a family in Alberta, and they won me as a contest to walk through their home and green their lives. And they've done some amazing things on their own and with my help, but they gave me inspiration to do things in my own life. And I have the privilege of hearing from Canadians every day about the really cool things they're doing to reduce their exposure to toxins, to get, pesticide bylaws in their provinces, to all kinds of really interesting things. So everyday Canadians are really what inspire me. That's what I love my work.
Yeah, that's great. And the Bamboo tagline is the modern eco publication. In your own words, who is the modern eco persona?
Oh, the modern. I kind of struggle with this one because, I see a lot of my job has been to, not have sort of break down the environmentalist identity. Because that's been, about wearing hemp sandals and eating granola, and that's really not what it's about. Green or being kinder to the planet has really become more mainstream, and, my dream is that one day there is no such thing as a green wedding or green home cleaners, that it's just a smarter, better, safer way of doing things. And so ideally, the queen of green wouldn't exist anymore, and it would just be so infiltrated in through everything we do, the way we run our businesses, how we get to work, the things we do in our households, that it's just a better way of life.
Right. I don't know about you, Lindsay, but I personally love secrets. So if you could share one secret today with our Bamboo readers that will help them make a significant impact on the planet today, right now, what would it be? It has to be something that you've never told anyone else.
Well, one thing that I've really been toiling with lately, and I haven't broadcast it too widely, is there's tons of top 10 lists and tons of eco advice of things of where you should start and what you should do to reduce your energy. But my big thing recently is to recycle less. Sounds really odd, but recycling is actually, one of the last of the three R's. First you're supposed to reduce, then reuse, and then recycle. And so I think a lot of people are on the bandwagon, of course, and think they're going green because they're doing tons and tons of recycling. But really the answer isn't to recycle more, it's to see, what you can actually keep, let's say, out of your blue bin ways you can shop smarter to avoid packaging, things you can repurpose. The goal isn't to have a heaping pile of recycling at the curb every week. So that's what I would challenge your readers, is to think about ways that you can, reduce and reuse before you even think about recycling, and it can start with your blue bin.
Totally agree. That's a great message. And where do you see the future of this whole eco-fashion movement in particular? I mean, Canada is such a hotbed for eco-designers. I mean, we have Nicole Bridger, who's great here in Vancouver, and there's a ton of designers that have started to utilize some non-traditional materials. Laura Presper in Calgary using Tyvek, which is originally a building material to use to make one of our jackets for the spring collection. So where do you see this going, say, in 50 years from now?
You know what I would love, and hopefully this happens sooner than even 50 years, is that you don't have to go to, I love that right now, local and eco and sustainable fashion, you can go to all these markets and the do-it-yourself and the make-it festivals, and that there's certain neighborhoods, let's say, that really embrace sustainable fashion. But I think it would be really great if you didn't just have to go to these craft fairs and one-time markets to find where your local designers are and who's making what, no matter what the product is, if it's out of sustainable, organic fabrics or it's out of things that are reusable. I would love it if you could just walk down your regular shopping district and find more than one in a handful of stores. I haven't shopped in a mall for I don't know how long, years. I just don't find the use to going to a mall because I like to look for more sustainably sourced things, which often right now can be kind of tricky to find if you just want to go out down the street, especially in the mall. So ideally, if more sustainable fashion could be mainstream, where you're going to find people, probably most Canadians are shopping at malls
Right.
to have more fashion there, and just easier to find. That would be really cool, I think.
That's great. What will be the Lindsay Coulter legacy that you're leaving on the earth?
Oh God, I just had my birthday around Earth Day this year. I don't think of myself as too old, so I've never thought of a legacy exactly. But basically, you can be one person, and the you can do it attitude. I've learned by doing, and there's no shortage of things to learn and ways to grow, and I'm constantly learning about ways to be green and go green, and talk to people about it and start a conversation and learn from others. So I hope that other people embrace that. I know there's basically tons of other Queen of Greens out there across Canada doing their own thing about topics they're passionate about, so I think that's really great.
I agree. I think that's a really great message. I think in general, I mean, it doesn't even have to pertain to sustainability, just to keep learning about everything in business, in your relationships, in anything. I think, it's so important to constantly evolve and to constantly learn new things because it really opens your mind up to the environment, the planet, our impact on that. It all goes back to it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's you'll never know it all. So
Yeah. Lastly, one of my favorite questions. Finish this sentence. If I knew then what I know now.
I guess because like I say, toxins are one of my hot topics. It would be if I knew then what I know now about toxins in the environment and what we're loading our bodies with, I would have never used so many plug-in air fresheners in my old home because I had a smoker in the basement and was trying to dilute that smell. And I must have had 10 or 12 of those things going 24/7 for a couple of years. So I can't imagine all the formaldehyde and toxic ingredients and chemicals that I exposed myself to. So that would be something I wouldn't repeat.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Lindsay, for taking the time to chat with Bamboo and our readers. You can follow the Queen of Green at David Suzuki, Q of G, as well as davidsuzuki.org for more tips on green living made easy.
Thanks so much.